What if every single nuclear reactor on Earth suddenly melted down at the same time? What would happen next? Imagine walking outside and seeing a faint, eerie glow in the sky. A slow but unstoppable cascade of red-hot fuel melting deep inside hills of containment steel. This is the start of our scenario. Let's take a travel through the nightmare. The unthinkable meltdown of all nuclear reactors, one by one across the globe. First, picture the setup. Humans built hundreds of nuclear reactors to generate electricity, each filled with superheated fuel rods and complex cooling systems. Normally, these reactors rely on continuous cooling even after shutdown, because radioactive decay keeps the fuel hot long after fission stops. Now imagine that cooling fails everywhere, no backup systems, no intervention. The water boils off, the fuel rods overheat, and the core starts to melt. As each core melts, the cladding breaches. The molten fuel may pool at the bottom and eventually breach containment in the worst cases. Within hours, many reactor sites become chaotic. Hydrogen explosions, steam blasts, structural failures, and radiation leaking into the environment. In the short term, nearby populations experience evacuation orders as radioactive isotopes like iodine-131, cesium-137, and strontium-90 spread through air, water, and soil. Emergency services and governments scramble, but the scale is global, meaning resources are overwhelmed, coordination fails in places, and panic spreads. Next, contamination zones expand. Large tracts of land become uninhabitable for decades or longer. Wildlife suffers, agriculture collapses, and food supplies are disrupted. Over weeks to months, hundreds of millions of people could be displaced. Infrastructure damaged by radiation or by the loss of power plants, and economies collapse from the shock. The long-term health toll begins to appear. Even if no one dies immediately, cancer rates climb, mental health issues soar, and entire generations bear consequences. Ecosystems suffer too. Soil and water contamination spread through rivers, oceans, and food chains, altering habitats and creating ecological ripple effects. Now consider, if all reactors melt down, the global grid loses vast portions of power generation instantly. The knock-on effects: blackouts everywhere, loss of critical services, chaos. Hospitals and emergency systems falter. People lose access to fresh water, sanitation, and refrigeration, leading to secondary crises of disease and starvation. Meanwhile, the psychological impact is immense. Fear of invisible radiation, social breakdown, stigma on survivors and evacuated populations, generational trauma. Over years and decades, contaminated zones become no-go areas. Cleanup takes decades, if it's even feasible. The cost of decontamination runs into the trillions. But here's the twist. This scenario, every reactor meltdown, is fantastical and extremely unlikely, thanks to redundant safety systems and strict regulation. Reality check. Modern reactors are designed with multiple layers of defense to prevent meltdown. And past accidents, while serious, did not release worst-case levels of radiation to the public. So the takeaway: yes, a total meltdown of all reactors is catastrophic beyond imagination. But the very fact we can imagine it reminds us of the fragility of systems we rely on. It also reminds us why vigilance, safety culture, innovation, and public awareness are crucial when it comes to nuclear energy and power infrastructure. Most importantly, it highlights a choice. We can learn, invest, prepare for the worst while aiming for the best, or we can ignore the risk until it becomes reality. In a world of interconnected systems, the impact of one failure can cascade into global disaster. Our collective future depends on resilience and responsibility. If you found this scenario thought-provoking, stick around for more explorations of what-ifs on my channel. Click like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss the next journey into the unknown. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time on Future Quest. Stay curious, stay alert, and remember, the future is what we make of it.